A Marine once said, "There are two kinds of mistakes in the Corps, the loud ones, and the ones you only realize when the room goes silent." This was the second kind, and it started with a single pull of hair. The mess hall was bright with noon sunlight, the kind that washed every face in honesty, leaving nowhere for arrogance to hide. Private Mason Greeley swaggered between the long tables, tray in hand, laughing too loudly at something no one else found funny. Across from him sat a woman he hadn't seen before. Calm posture, neat bun, uniform pressed so sharply it looked like it came with its own gravity. He didn't check the insignia. He didn't care to, and in one reckless, juvenile moment, he reached down, hooked two fingers around her hair, and tugged. The room froze. Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I love knowing who's listening. She didn't flinch. That was the first thing that rattled him. The second was the collective intake of breath around the hall, spoons pausing mid-air, boots scuffing lightly as Marines shifted, unsure whether to intervene or run. Something in the air changed, like the bright day outside had suddenly narrowed its focus through a magnifying glass. Captain Elena Ward slowly set down her coffee cup, the porcelain trembling just slightly, not from fear, but from the tension rolling off her in controlled waves. She turned her head, eyes level, voice soft enough that only he could hear at first. "Do you have a reason for touching me, Marine?" Mason swallowed, hard. The confidence drained from his face as whispers rose behind him. She thought she'd never see him again. She was wrong, someone muttered. And Mason felt heat crawl up his neck. He tried to laugh it off, tried to make a joke, but the words died when she stood. She didn't stand like an officer, trying to prove something. She stood like someone who had already proven everything a long time ago. Someone tired of children, mistaking her silence for weakness. That's when Gunnery Sergeant Hale entered the hall. One look at Elena, and his voice boomed. "Commander Ward, I didn't know you'd arrived on base already." "Commander." The word struck like a dropped rifle. Every Marine straightened instinctively. Every head turned toward Mason. Every rumor that had been whispered since morning. The arrival of a new commanding officer, battle-decorated, known for turning failing units into disciplined machines, suddenly clicked into place. A wave of murmurs swept the hall. Someone even stepped outside to get a better look through the windows, the bright sunlight catching in dust motes that drifted through the air like tiny spotlights of judgment. Elena's expression stayed calm, almost gentle, but her next words cut sharper than any reprimand. "Marine," she said, "when you think someone is beneath you, you reveal only one thing: how far you still have to rise." Mason felt his chest tighten. Shame hit harder than any disciplinary action ever had. But the moment didn't end there. She stepped closer, voice dropping, letting only those nearby hear, though the room was silent enough that every syllable carried. "I'm not here to punish you," she said. "I'm here to see who you want to become. And right now, you're choosing the version of yourself you'll regret." It was the moral dilemma he never expected. She wasn't angry. She wasn't condemning him. She was offering a chance, which somehow felt heavier. Outside the windows, a group of Marines paused mid-drill, glancing over as if drawn by the shift in air pressure. Even the sun felt still, suspended above the courtyard like it was watching. Then came the moment no one expected. Mason straightened, heels clicking, chin trembling. "Commander," he said, voice cracking, "permission to apologize." She nodded, and he did, loudly, sincerely, with the entire mess hall bearing witness. Something broke inside him, and rebuilt itself in the same instant, the way a young soldier sometimes grows years in a single breath. Commander Ward placed a steady hand on his shoulder. "Good," she said softly. "That's the Marine I need." A small ripple of relief passed through the room, the kind that feels like a collective exhale. Sunlight warming the tables again, tension melting back into routine. Because justice didn't thunder that day, it guided, it lifted, it taught. Because strength isn't proven by force, it's revealed by how we rise after we fail. And in a bright noon mess hall, respect found its way back to the place it always belonged. Thank you for listening, friend. If this story moved you even a little, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories just like this.